What is going on, everybody? Turn my mic sensitivity up a little bit here. Notification gang, what's good? What's up, JMR, Nova Q, what's up, brother? Chicken Little, Spaniardo, good to see you here, bro. Light Up TV Media, Eric, Brandon. How is everyone doing? You guys surviving the dump, if we want to call it that. This one for now. I guess it kind of has been a dump. What's up, Democryptus? Good to see you here, bro. A Peng Rayhan, what's going on? Good to see you here again as well. Cause Connect. What's up, Angle? We'll give people just a couple minutes to hop in, and then we'll get started. We'll get started with the stream. How's everyone feeling? Bullish, bearish, sideways? What's the sentiment like out there in the real world? Sentiment check. What's up, Kyle? First stream. Glad you're here. Amar Paul says he's long. Brandon says Yellen needs to chill. Nova says dump it. We got 70K incoming. Bullish on alt, sideways BTC. Bullish. What's up, Mark? V Gets. 60K will be hit. CT calling for a top. All right, so it looks pretty split. There's a good amount of people in the chat saying bullish, good amount of people in the chat saying bearish. So let us get started. Let's jump in to the video. I think we'll do a top-down analysis on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. I want to look at Link, and we'll kind of look at whatever else we want to. Before we get started though, if you guys could like the video, that would be awesome. Helps me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm. And then I wanted to give a shout out to the sponsor, Bybit, down here in the left hand corner, for sponsoring this video. They are my preferred derivatives exchange for trading Bitcoin and Ethereum and a few alts. But specifically, I really enjoy trading Bitcoin and Ethereum there. Quick order execution. And I actually get filled where I enter and exit my positions. I have a lot less slippage there than on other exchanges, and also my limit orders actually get filled. On some other exchanges, I have trouble filling limits. So with that out of the way, let's jump right into the video. Oh, I don't know if I said this, but I have a referral link in the description. If you use that, it basically lets Bybit know that you guys enjoy my content, and it tells them that it's still worth it to sponsor these videos. And they're basically the reason that I can bring you guys this content for free. So that is pretty much it. The chat is blowing up. We got a good amount of people here. So let's jump right into it. Last time we streamed was Thursday, so that was what, like 5 days ago? I think we were somewhere around here. Well, I guess this was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, this down day. So we've had a nice little pump since last stream, but then we've pulled back. We're essentially trading right where we were last week when we streamed last. We swept this high right into the quarterly open. So that was just on the daily. Closed this daily candle as a sweep into the quarterly open. So that was a nice short signal. I did actually short at 15.6 around here, but didn't have a TP order in. This wicked all the way down, just on Bybit though, not on other exchanges, because someone fat fingered. And also there's some alpha in these wicks, because we'll see these fat wicks on one exchange. Like sometimes we've seen it on Coinbase, sometimes we've seen it on BitMEX, sometimes FTX, Bybit, whatever it is. But when one exchange does this, it feels like just about every single time, at least recently, we have continued in that direction and filled in the entire wick. So something to keep in mind. But yes, so I'm not trying to brag about shorting right here because I did screw it up. We had this huge wick down and I was like, well, that sucks because this level right here, this like just under 55K was my target for the short, and it hit that and then got bought all the way back up, and I closed my short here, and now I've just been sitting on the sidelines waiting. And so yeah, pretty big bummer because that short would be in some massive profit right now, but the wick scared me a little bit because I felt like, oh, maybe the target got hit already and now we keep going up. But oh well, it is what it is. Not going to try and blame it on the wick. I could have left it open. But I am in a couple long positions right now. I am long Bitcoin. My stop is below here, and I entered right around, it's pretty much break even. 54.3, give or take. And then I average down a little bit. So my average entry is a little bit below that. On, I think this candle, or maybe it was right here. I think I added some more at 54.1. So I am long Bitcoin. With that being said, let's jump into the analysis after I opened up to you guys about how I choked the most goated short entry. I think goated is something people say. Greatest of all time. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's jump into it. Enough dilly-dallying. So weekly picture, there's honestly not much, right? The weekly, we literally, oh my gosh, I hate that. We are essentially just ranging, right? So we hit 58K, came back to 44, up to like 62, down to 50, up to 65, down to 46. Like we've just been stuck primarily between 60K and 50K for a long time. Like just about this entire thing. We've been ranging for quite some time, longer than usual, since we've been in this run. I would say the bull run, like you could say it started here, but it was pretty much just chop sideways. I would say the bull run started right around here, trending up from 10K all the way to like 63. And throughout this whole period, you could say we had this consolidation here for like 2.5 weeks. We had this consolidation here for like 3 weeks. And now, I mean, depending on how you want to measure it, but we've basically been consolidating for about 71 days now. So that makes me think like we're due. I do feel like it has been a while since Bitcoin has just put the market on its back and ripped up. I feel like 70K, 80K is long overdue. However, I'm not sure if this has another leg down. I don't see it going below 40K before we go on a massive run, but we'll talk about that later today. Basically, areas I'm looking at are like 51, and then below that, a sweep of that low, and below that 41. That's kind of like worst case, and that's the most bearish scenario. Like if it comes here, can't get through, sweeps that, can't go, then I'm looking for here, and this is where you load up your omega longs and hold them to 6 digits is kind of my plan. But with all that being said, we've just been in this massive consolidation phase. So a lot of people are losing a lot of money trading BTC and getting chopped up in this range. My advice to you, if you have been affected by that, is focus on the higher time frame picture and go from there. You know, I don't want everyone trading every single one of these daily candles where it's just chopping around. Like if you're not much of a lower time frame trader, zoom out, get rid of some of the noise, and kind of focus on the bigger picture. So for me, one of my bigger picture lines in the sand is this quarterly open. If we can get back above this, I think we make a push for all-time highs. There is one more level standing in our way before that, and I think that is, I think it's this one. This 12-hour supply, right around 63K, give or take. I mean, you could also just use this daily level. This was the last up candle before this nuke that broke structure. So that would be a resistance area. But at that point, like, we're pretty much right next to all-time highs anyway. So line in the sand for me at this point in time is the quarterly open. Hold on. Is this one supposed to be marked just monthly open and not quarterly open? Oh no, that's the quarterly open. Okay. Oh man, I had a little brain fart or something there. I thought I was an idiot. Mislabeling my lines. But regardless, even if that was just the normal monthly open, you could see how well it's been which it obviously wouldn't be because May just opened and I hid that one. Okay. So we are more or less in an uptrend. Like, we put in this low, high, higher low. I mean, you could say lower time frame, this consolidation broke through and we rejected, but I guess what everyone wants to know is, what do I need to see to get long? And so here I am long because I think either this general region, wow, that was drawn very poorly. This general region holds, or we go to like 50.5/51, somewhere in there. So to me, I like to take trades at areas where it's like, I know where I'm wrong pretty quickly, and I can get long much lower if I get stopped out. So right now, my stop loss is just, it's a bit under 53K. I think there is a possible scenario where we just sweep this low and then go up, but honestly, I'd like to get a little bit deeper into this consolidation, because this was the consolidation that led to this entire move. So this is where big time buyers were stepping in and they pushed the market up from 49K to almost 60K. That means if we get a retrace back into this level, I think buyers will step in once again, and then we push up from there. So high time frame, I think this is a very real scenario. I'm not fully convinced the low is in here yet, and it's not the end of the world if it isn't, but 51K is kind of where I'm looking in case this low isn't in. And to be honest, it kind of looks like it's not, because I would have wanted to see us reclaim these like equal lows pretty close with Monday's high. Like, I wanted to see us hold above this level, and it looks like we are dumping through. So it's kind of just choppy price action here for me. When price isn't really respecting my levels very well at all, I don't want to be too involved in the market. So that's kind of the way it is. It could still bounce from here. Like, maybe we just chop around and then do something. But for right now, I'm holding this higher time frame long. If the daily closes, ideally I'd like to see the daily close above there, but I also realize that's kind of just the wick on Bybit and on other exchanges like Coinbase or FTX or whatever. The daily doesn't, this daily candle doesn't have a wick all the way down there. So, you know, I would like to see some buyers step in before the daily close, but we'll see what happens. Bitcoin doesn't have a ton of, one second. I'm going to, guys, getting a little freaky in the chat. We don't need that right now. So, sorry, that distracted me. I think I kicked that guy. I don't know. You guys are getting a little. We don't need to talk about this. Jason, you too, buddy. You're gonna get kicked with any more weird stuff. All right. Sorry for the interruption there, boys. But yeah, so I would really like to see us reclaim this low. This low is pretty consistent across exchanges on Coinbase right there. So if we can get back above that, I'll be more convinced that the low is in for now. But I don't want to either cut or add to my trade when we're just chopping around like this. I think that's just going to lead to an emotional decision. Like when we made this move up, it's like, oh my gosh, this is probably good, the low's in, but then we dump right away, and then it's like, oh, I should probably exit my long because this looks ugly. So I don't want to get too caught up in the emotions within this range, but if we can get above and hold above like 40 or 54.7, then I will I'll be feeling a little bullish, or a little more bullish. But I guess that's not like, I wish I had more plans laid out for how I would get long on Bitcoin right now. It just feels like every single dump is followed by a really small bounce back. Like here, we got rejected right at the weekly open, the very first resistance that we came into, reject down here. We dip down, bounce into this wick, which was like the very first resistance that we go to, and we're starting to get rejected. So definitely time to either sit back or, like, this is a no trade zone for low time frame. Yes, I'm long, but my stop is there, so like this can come down for another leg and I could still be fine. But as far as low time frame trades, it's a no trade zone for Bitcoin for me. Unfortunately, that means we probably won't take a Bitcoin long live on stream again, because last time we longed right here and basically rode this entire, actually no, I closed it early. I closed mine here, but that was a pretty fun stream, entering a long at the same time with you guys. Remove. Sorry, I'm trying to kick this guy. I don't really know how. Put user in timeout. All right. Jason, can you stop being weird? Sorry about that, guys. I don't know who these people are. Here, the Spaniardo. Since I know you, I just made you a moderator. So if those guys keep posting stuff, just try and kick them if it lets you, so I don't need to pause the video every time. All right, moving on to Ethereum. Also, just chop city. Like, I think this was the plan we developed last week, somewhere around here. We were looking for a leg down into Monday's high. Obviously never got it, but I tried to leave the drawings on there just so we could review it. In this video, the setup was sound. Angle, you're a moderator too now. Your messages were just higher up, so I didn't see them. Okay, you guys can take care of the chat. Take care of the chat for me, so I don't need to worry about that. We developed that plan, and I'm gonna try and keep leaving like my drawings from streams on the chart so that we can review them in the next video, just so that you guys can kind of see what we talked about last time, how it played out, if we had a trade that made money, if we lost money, whatever. But as far as Ethereum now, like for the last day or so, once again, just absolute chop. Let me get Monday's range on here. Oh, I forgot to do that on Bitcoin. I wanted to show you guys something. Or no, I didn't. Was it Ethereum? Yeah, Monday's range is a little funky just because of this wick. So I don't really know what Monday's range to use for Bitcoin, because on Coinbase and other exchanges, Monday's low is here. I'll probably just mark both levels and have them as relatively important levels, and then whatever. But for Ethereum, we have a huge Monday's range here because I'm pretty sure we pumped like 13K. But yeah, PA's been a bit funky. We are holding nicely in the upper half of this range, so that tells me that it's relatively bullish as long as we can hold this mid-range. And look how well price has interacted with these levels. So we know the mid-range is a really nice SR level, just because of how well these wicks have respected it. However, unless you took a long on this sweep, there isn't really much to do here for Ethereum. And this Monday's range is huge. What I would plan to do, I don't think we get it, but if absolute carnage breaks loose, I mean, I don't know how much of a pullback that would be. All right, another 10%. That would be pretty significant, but it's possible. If we do come down here and take out Monday's low, I'll absolutely punt along on Ethereum. I know everyone will be super worried if we dump another 10% like that, but I think that would be a nice long setup. Otherwise, just let Ethereum do its thing in here. And as soon as it gets above Monday's high, then we will start looking for some continuation longs. And it's also nice because if Ethereum builds a really nice base right here, it could be like a reaccumulation or whatever you call it. Once we break out of it, I'd be even more confident longing the retest of it because of all the trading, all the volume that took place in there. And that would be a nice level to have protecting your entry. So if we pushed up straight from here, I think invalidation has to be there. I don't even know what you target at this point, probably like 4,000 or something like that, or just trail your stop up. But that's kind of how things are going right now. Zoom out just a little bit more. I really do not want to close this candle with just a fat wick on top, but Ethereum has kind of showed us that it doesn't really matter how they close these weekly candles because they still end up being super bullish. So we could pull all the way back to like 2,800 and then keep going up and close this candle green. So I don't really want to take too much from a weekly candle that's only had 4 days go into it. But as you guys were, or I think I saw someone say it in the chat, but Ethereum PA has been, oh yeah. I don't know. Someone said it, I think. This PA has just been weird. So kind of just have to let it go for now and wait for something clear. So quick summary, break above Monday's high or take out the low. I know that's like super basic plans and price isn't really close to either of those, but that's kind of all I have to work with. We've swept these low, like we've already kind of had this triple sweep here. So, I mean, theoretically it could come down and take out this low again. If it does, then once it gets back above the mid-range, since that has been such a clean SR level, I would look for a retest of that going forward. So that's Ethereum. I do want to talk about ETH BTC because it has, I mean, it's going insane. So last stream, we talked about how if it flips this level, this weekly SR level at 0.053, then we'd be looking for it to just push up hard again to 0.07, and that's kind of happening. We had a really low time frame flip of this level. Let's see. It's just really hard to look at this because it's gone so parabolic. You can see resistance here, pushed it down, we broke above, nice retest, no hourly closes below that level, and then we just fired out of a cannon and started pushing away. So ETH BTC has been super bullish. I almost would have rather, I mean, Not really, rather. How far do I have to zoom out? Okay. Like, I would say I kind of expected us to reject at this level and pull back a little bit before going higher, but Ethereum is just going straight vertical. Well, ETH BTC. But I think this 0.07 area, give or take, 0.07 would be a nice area to take some profit on Ethereum. I've talked about this in a few different live streams that I use the BTC chart to take profit when we are in price discovery. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's been going vertical. If you've been waiting for a pullback, it hasn't been very kind. But trend continuation setups have been working relatively well. But I think that's pretty much it for Ethereum and Bitcoin. I do want to look at Litecoin for sure, and let's look at Link. But let me try and catch up with some of the chat really quick. And now would be a good time to fire away any questions about Bitcoin and Ethereum before we move on from those ones. Brennan, I made you a mod too, just so, hey, I can pretty much count on one of you three guys being here to make sure no weird sexual dudes get in the chat. You can always ban them. Just don't ban nice people. That'd be a bummer. Could you make a summary educational video about all your trading concepts? Kind of. Like, I'm definitely trying to do more educational stuff, but I'm not just gonna make a video that says, all right, this is exactly how I trade. I mean, even if I did, I think only a few people would be able to make money, because in the end it comes down to execution, and discretion does come into play with the way I trade. And but yeah, I plan to make some basic videos outlining price action concepts that I use to trade, and then you guys can go from there and use whatever you think might help you, and just try and I guess build your system from there. Oh yeah, Democryptus said it. Weird PA on Ethereum. 54,000 is also Monday 26th close. We already used many times support. Or 54, yeah, we have tested that a lot. ETH chop looks like bearish signal, head and shoulders, then down further. I don't know if I would necessarily say that. Like, I'm not surprised that this dropped after we lost Monday's high and then pushed down. But I don't think this is like super bearish macro reversal head and shoulders. It could be, but I doubt it. I mean, that could just mean another leg down, but if it just goes like this, then that whole idea gets invalidated. I don't use head and shoulders really. I'm not a fan of too many classical chart patterns, because I think you can make a lot of things look like a head and shoulders if you want it to. So all I want is 2.4k ETH to scare everyone. I think that would scare a lot of people. I wouldn't be mad. I think like it kind of makes sense to test this level, but who knows? I doubt Ethereum wants to give us that nice of an entry. Where are the dips, man? That's a good question. I'm wondering as well. You kind of just have to trade continuation style right now. Can you explain what it means to sweep the highs, lows, and how do you use that information to trade? So the quick version of that is essentially that people will put their stop losses at key highs and key lows. And so when I look for a wick above or below one of those key highs or lows, that basically means it would stop everyone out and then reverse in the opposite direction once people are stopped out, I guess you could say. Yo, Kaz, first and last letters of my name. What's good? How's it going, man? What happened to the lemon eating video? The lemon eating video, it happened. I posted it on Twitter, and I don't plan to do it again. I think I did it twice, though, but now I don't plan to do it again. Yeah, I do have a risk management video. That's kind of the only one I've gotten around to making so far. Crypto Cred has good educational stuff, as well as Trader Mains and Trader SZ's free content, or free live streams are also very good. So, and I've shouted out this blog a couple times. Trading Riot, they have, well, one of my friends runs this blog, and he posts some really good beginner articles, talks about supply and demand, which is something I use a lot. So those are good things to check out. All right. Sounds like that all makes sense. I mean, I don't have a ton of actionable setups to take right now. I kind of just want to be patient, but we'll see what happens. So Litecoin plan from last week, I remember we were grinding up. We were somewhere in here when I was streaming last week, and I was saying this slow grind is really hard price action for me to trade, because this just doesn't give me a lot of setups at all with the way I trade. There's no ranges that I can take advantage of. It's not like it's an impulsive move with a retrace into demand. It's not like it was a downtrend and then we broke out of it and then have like a breaker along or something like that. Whatever it is, this wasn't giving me much. So I was like, we kind of just have to stay patient. But if it does come down to this mid 230s, low 230s, then I would definitely be interested in longing Litecoin. Unfortunately, it held this range low on like 8 different attempts, pushed up from there, then ranged a bunch more, pushed up, and then yesterday we had this huge push because LTC BTC kind of broke out a bit. So these Litecoin orders or bids, that setup didn't really come to fruition, but not much I can add there. It just, this price action was just funky. Super slow grind, really tight range, go up a little bit, really tight range, and yeah, it wasn't something I was super interested in trading. So, but with where we are now, I'm going to delete this, delete that. Let's mark this up. Let's mark this up fresh. Okay, the quarterly open is super far away, so I don't need that. The monthly open is right here. Weekly is pretty much right next to it, so I don't need that. Let's get Monday's range on there. Wow, that's pretty juicy. So, man, this is also a little difficult. I think one setup I would look for on Litecoin would be if we come down into here, we have this low right there. I think people who are long already have their stop losses there. If we dip down into here, you can start building a long position, and then if we get back above Monday's high, that would be confirmation for me that the low is in. Monday's range, I get questions about Monday's range a lot. I haven't made a video about it, but if you skim through my stream from last week, it was the one on Thursday, I believe, probably around the second half of the stream, I do a, I don't know, like 3-4 minute little bit about why Monday's range is significant. Yeah, Credin is 618 fettuccine. That was hilarious. Hey, first time watching your cast, like your tone, no BS and hype. We'll be back for the next one. Thanks, Mark. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring you guys analysis without just spoon feeding you some crazy hopium about how XRP is going to go to $100. So This is looking like it wants another leg down. So I'm just going to post, I guess, this plan. I'll target like 62. So if Bitcoin does come down for another leg, I'm looking for something like this, long around 51K, 50.5. And actually, I'm going to cut my long here just because this is kind of the exact rejection I would have expected to see if this was just going to continue down. So I think this is about a, 0.5R loss. So a little bit of a hit, but it's all good. Because my stop loss was here. Actually, a little bit less, like 0.3R loss. And if we do find a way, like if this comes down and then we reclaim this again, I'll just get long here with a stop loss down there. So that's my plan to get back in if I'm wrong about this 51K pullback. Let's see. Cause, do you think BTK is just in heavy accumulation between 50, 60? Yeah, I think that's absolutely possible. I do think the on-chain analytics are super bullish, and it would make sense because we've literally just been ranging here, shaking people out since late February. It honestly feels like Bitcoin just hasn't done much. So I do think that once this range kind of sorts itself out, and we break above like 60K and actually hold above it this time, then I think Bitcoin goes for its next big leg to like 80. So I do think it's possible that people are just buying in this range and waiting. Let's see. Anticipated that LTC move and caught it perfectly, but I was scared and long with tiny size. How to get confidence in your setups? To get confidence in your setups, I think you just need to be taking your setups more often, or like just get more trade frequency under your belt. I'm not saying to like over trade for a specific period of time, but I'm just saying that the experience from trading those same setups over and over gives you confidence, because you know that over the longer scale of things, your setups, excuse me, I was drinking some sparkling water, so now I've been burping like twice in a row. You know that your setups, like you've seen consistency with them, and when you know that over the long run it works, it will give you more confidence in them. Do I ever use RSI and divergences? I use RSI sometimes. It's definitely not like my bread and butter. I picked up a few things from CBS, Cold-Blooded Schiller, on that's his username on Twitter, and he uses RSI divs really, really well, and I was kind of inspired by him a little bit. So I look at them every now and then, but I'm not going to base a trade solely on a div. But I think for Confluence, they are nice. Who will be the special guests? I'll have guests on every now and then. Can we get this stream to 100 likes? That would be sweet. We're 24 likes away if you guys could make that happen. When Angle live guest stream? That's a good question. Hey, Cause, why is it important to stop people out before continuation higher or lower? And if we stop people out, does it usually mean we're going in the opposite direction? So the main reason is that if you're trading with really big size, let's say like 20, 30, 40, $50 million or whatever, you need liquidity. And stopping people out generates liquidity. So if a bunch of retail traders are us basically, have our stop losses at this level and we're long, that means if our stop loss gets triggered, it triggers a sell order. And so if the big whales, or whatever you want to call them, institutions who need liquidity to get their bids filled, have their bids like this, and this is like $50 million of bids, and let's just say however many people are in a 50K, 100K position and they all get stopped out here, and we wick down into those orders, but we needed that liquidity from everyone else to get into those orders, to get those orders filled, and then we go up, if that makes sense. So basically, people with a lot of money need liquidity to get their orders filled, and liquidity is found at supply and demand, and also from stop losses, because stop losses trigger market orders that create liquidity, you could say, if that makes sense. Could I make a PDF with my trading style rules? Maybe one day. It would take a lot of time, and I do this all for free, so I can't say that would be the very first thing on my mind to do when I have some free time. Being sponsored by Bybit does make me a bit more motivated to do these live streams, but it really would be a huge commitment to make like an entire educational PDF breaking down everything that I do. And at this point, I think I have had one person sign up on my Bybit link. So, if we can get some signups there, and I can lock down Bybit to be my sponsor long term, then we can definitely talk about doing more educational stuff. Lewis says, Daddy Kaz helped me get some 2Xs, sir. Just got liquidated to the grave, homie. Well, that's not good. We don't want that. Next 2X, Coat to $10 or Ray to $20. Not quite a 2X, but those would be my guesses. Let's see. Any reason you're not looking for short scalps? I could, if I was looking for a short. It would have had to have been here. Like, I don't want to short this now after it's already dipped. I would look for a short if we come up to the weekly open and then break back below. I would definitely short that. That's a scenario I'd be watching. But right now, like, we've already dropped this far, so I would at least want to see like a bit of a bounce to look for another short. Or yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want to enter a fresh short after we're down 10% already on Bitcoin. But I don't know. I kind of screwed myself because I literally shorted the quarterly open here and then closed it like here. So I'm kind of just pissed off about that still. Can you TV link that BTC setup? I'll post something in the Telegram after the video. Maybe we get an ETF that was like if Facebook or something announced, maybe not Facebook, if like Amazon or something like that announced they're buying Bitcoin, I'm sure that would push us out of this range. That liquidity explanation is awesome. How do they manipulate it down to get that liquidity though? Sorry if I missed it. I think they can do it in a variety of ways. Honestly, like, I don't know everything. I've never worked for some institution that did this or anything like that. This is kind of just like what I've learned from trading. So, but I think like spoofing and order books and things like that can have something to do with it. The Bybit link is in the description, I believe, if you guys would like to use it. Let me just double check and make sure it's in there. Yeah. It is the second paragraph if you guys would like to sign up there. I don't know if you're supposed to use Bybit in the US. I would have to check. I am a German citizen, so yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know if you're supposed to. I know people use a VPN. I'm not going to tell you to do that, but you can do whatever you like. I don't know of anyone that has gotten kicked off Bybit for using a VPN. I'm not sure if you're really supposed to, but yeah, we don't need to get into that too much. Like, I'm not going to tell anyone to do that, but you probably would be okay. I don't really know, though. Chainlink, yeah. We got to look at Link. So I was talking with my buddy yesterday. We had this Monday's range put in. I liked this sweep of the low, and we took out all these stop losses here. So basically, this dump took out anyone who had stop losses at any of these lows here, and we had equal lows right there too. And then we pushed up, got back above the weekly open, and Link has pretty much been going vertical ever since that. If the whole market does pull back for another leg, I think longing this level around Monday's high would be a nice opportunity to get long. But Link, big picture, I mean, it's looking pretty solid. Link is pretty much just goes straight up, and everyone kind of forgot about it because it was consolidating for this entire time. But now it struggled a little bit. It broke out of here and then dipped back below. But the main thing is that once it broke out of this general consolidation, it did take one fake out. But now that we're back above it again, we're just trending. And the high time frame picture does look very bullish for Link. Also, we have do we have weekly? No, not quite. But we have 3-day support, 3-day SR, 3D. It's a 3D level. It really jumps out at you. And that lines up. See, I can't make this stuff up, guys. Look how well this lines up with Monday's high. Basically on top of it. So yeah, that type of a dip would be a long for me on Link. Why am I bullish on Cope? I just don't want to bet against Siri. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Apologies if that's wrong. I just know he's a really smart dude, and they have really great tokenomics. I'm not like the biggest FA guy, but for some small altcoins, some newer projects, I do look into the fundamentals of it a little bit. No Bybit for us for US citizens, wink wink. Yeah, pretty much. I'm in the US, been using Bybit for a year. There we go. Are you in spot as well or straight up trading? I'm in spot. I accumulate spot. I believe in crypto for the long haul. So most of my spot is Bitcoin though, because that's like I hold some spot alts, but the majority of my spot portfolio is Bitcoin. What do you think about Sushi? Hearing it will pump because of DeFi meme coin narrative plus Coinbase. I'm pretty bullish on Sushi. There was a time where I was trading Sushi a ton. Last week we talked about this setup. We had this really clean range here, range low there, range high, pretty much equal lows. We came down, took those out, and now we're pushing up. I'm pretty sure I talked about on the stream coming back down to retest this range low, and I think that would be a super nice setup. We've got some 4-hour demand right here, and this low right there. So I would say if this were to come down, do something like that, that's your Sushi long. Probably put a stop loss right there. I'll move this up so I don't forget about it. But yeah, Sushi looks pretty good. But once again, like, people have forgotten about it and are barely talking about it because it's been consolidating for 3 months. So once that resolves itself, I think we go back into a trend. So you can see here, when we zoom out really far, ranged here for a long time, trend, range for a little bit, trend, a little bit of a range, trend, range, trend, a little pullback, 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 whatever. And now we had this trend, and now it's just been ranging for like 3 months. So eventually, I do think Sushi goes for another leg and puts in another trend, but you kind of just have to be patient throughout this range. However, since this setup right here is really well anchored off of the higher time frame picture, if we get something like this, I think you could hold this to at least the range high, which would be like a 108% gain. So that would be pretty solid. Can I recommend resources to learn about price action? Not YouTube, a little more organized tool. You should check out Trading Riot's blog. There's a lot of good stuff on there. And you can look at, what's his name? I need to Google it. What is his name? Forgot. I'll have to check it another time. But yeah, Trading Riot's a good one. Need to wake up for work in 3 hours was nice hearing your opinion on the market cause. Have a good one, Democryptus. I'll try and do some earlier in the day later so that I can accommodate to even more people. I don't know. I don't really know anything about the KSM fundamentals. But I could look at the chart really quick. First thing that jumps out at me would be something like this. That's a pretty good looking range. I would... It might come down a little further though. This kind of looks like a little bit like Bitcoin's price action. I think it's on here somewhere. Yeah. So this would be like the 51K for Bitcoin. So if this comes down again and then gets back in the range low, I think that would be a nice long on KSM. Let's look back at Bitcoin really quick though, because it is starting to push up again. Let's see. Hopefully the low is in. Like, I like Bitcoin more when it's trending up, but we'll see what happens. We have a little bit over an hour until the daily close. Anyone in the chat that uses Bybit or Binance, or taxes the same, or are we frowned upon since we shouldn't be trading there as a U.S. citizen? If anyone in the chat can help them out, that'd be great. I wish I could. Taxes for me, like I said, are a little bit different because I'm a German citizen. When do I think the bull run will come to an end? I think that would be a complete guess, to be honest. I have no idea. Anyone who, I mean, I guess all we can do is compare it to previous bull runs, but with that, the sample size is only like, what, 3 or 4, whatever it is. And I think based off of those, it would continue until like September or the end of the year. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, it's pretty much guesswork. We kind of just have to play the chart level to level. When things start looking bearish on a higher time frame, then we start to de-risk, things like that. Yeah, I'll look at Rune in a second. I see, so long as I file things. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be safe if there are some crypto specific tax resources that you could look into. That's probably the safest way to go. Can I share the ETH setup? Was it this one? Basically, either that, take Monday's low, or flip Monday's high. If I post this on Twitter though, people will be like, oh, so it can go up or down? It's like, well, yeah, it can always go up or down. We kind of just have to plan for multiple scenarios. So it's it always kind of annoys me when people say that, like, oh, so you're saying it can go up or down, because ultimately that's all trading is. Trading can always just go up or down, and trading is just like planning for the scenarios and executing accordingly. We don't predict, and if you do, you're probably going to be wrong a lot. Yeah, it's more reacting than predicting. So yes, it can go up or down, And no, I'm not making a prediction. Let's look at Aave. Oh, and I said I would look at Rune. I'm bullish on Aave as well as other DeFi because I think that money is going to rotate from this entire Ethereum run into Aave. Into DeFi. I think DeFi does go on a run at some point. However, Aave's been a bit weak in comparison to everything else. Well, not too weak. A little weak compared to other things like Link, obviously, or Litecoin. Wow, these are getting some nice bounces in now. But, I think it could bounce from here. Dipped into a nice consolidation there. As far as setups go, let's see. Let's see if we got... It is interesting how the monthly open held us up perfectly. Let's see if Monday's range gives us anything good. Yeah, that's a good range. All right. If this flips Monday's low right here, you could long with probably a stop loss there, target there, something like this. Nothing crazy, but just about 2R. I think that would be a reasonable setup on Aave. Rune. So we talked about Rune in the last stream. I was saying I wanted to see us sweep these equal lows, and obviously this barely pulled back and then started trending again, but it's definitely looking bullish here, trading above its previous all-time high and holding it pretty well. This 4-hour price action looks a bit similar to Ethereum, which isn't like the prettiest PA, but like Rune is definitely bullish, just a little tough to get involved here. I do think that we might come down and swipe these. I would call those essentially equal lows. Maybe into this SR. Well, I guess I should mark this. So for Rune, I would look for a dip into here and then reclaim those lows and that level. That was really ugly. There. So we have these equal lows. I think stop losses are built up there. I would want to see a wick below, or it doesn't even need to just be a wick. We can trade below a little bit. This is a nice demand level here too. Wick into that, reclaim those equal lows, and then I'd like to see us push up from there. So that's what I would see on Rune right now. XRP, I bought some spot XRP here. Not as like a long-term spot hold, but more so, I don't know, I'll close it somewhere in the $2, I think. But this was, oh man, this was our Monday's range from last week. And we formed this daily demand right there, right on top of Monday's high, and broke away, pushed away from it, and now we've dipped into it. So I am long, well, not really long, but I bought XRP right around here. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good big picture as long as it can hold this level here. What percentage of my long-term portfolio is in Bitcoin? Probably between 60, 65, somewhere in there. Maybe 70. It obviously fluctuates. Like if Ethereum performs super well, which it has recently, then that percentage changes. So probably around 60. I'm late. What's up, Kaz? What's up, Gabe? Good to see you here, man. Better late than never, and you can always rewatch. Yeah, this is the first time I've bought XRP in a very, very long time. It's exactly as you predicted. If you predict it will go up or down, that's true. It's a good point. I should use that one. Do you have a time to have a little look at DAI? I'll look at that, and I'll look at Ray. Please, Dodo. I'm not sure what that is. I actually don't even know where you trade this. Oh, it's on oh boy. Yeah, I don't really know what is this? DAI? Am I looking at the right thing? Yikes. I mean, these are all, I mean, this just isn't something I would trade. I like to stick to things with a lot more liquidity, so I'm sorry. I don't really know anything about this one. Yeah, let's look at Ray. So I'm actually long Ray from 13.1. This is I don't think I talked about this maybe I did talk about it on stream. I don't remember. I definitely posted it on Twitter. We probably talked about it on stream. But basically, we have, oh, it's a stable coin. No wonder I was so confused. Oh, man. That is funny. See, I'm an idiot. I literally don't know anything about random coins. I just know how to read a chart, I guess. This looks more like a chart. This is something I could work with. Man, I really was about to try and do analysis on a stable coin. That's hilarious. So I like this as a general SR level here. You can see it cap price well there. Honestly, a flip of this, like this looks to me like it's breaking out a bit, making some nice higher lows here. Any retest of that, I'd look to omega long this thing into at least this level, I would say. Actually, I can draw it like this. Something like that. Yeah, I didn't even know that existed either. What's up, Reno? What's up, JJ Young? Would love to have Rec Proof as a guest on your stream. I think we will make that happen. I'll look at Adam really quick too. Man, I can't believe I charted a stable coin. So back to Ray. I don't remember if we finished talking about this, but Ray's price action has honestly been really nice. Like obviously we had this huge pump at the beginning, retrace, but you could see price started to just concentrate between these two levels. This was a super nice long setup. Unfortunately, I did not hold that for as long as I would have liked. I should have just bought spot there instead of entering a trade because I would still be in it. But anyway, we really cleanly broke above this resistance here that had been capping us for a little bit. This slow grind down, I threw the trend line on there for the memes, and we did a really great job of breaking out. I got front ran a little bit here because I wanted to long the monthly open, and it missed it, and I was super pissed, but then it came back down. So I'm long here from 13.1, and my stop loss is at the bottom of this level. So there it is. That is my Ray long position. So yeah, Ray looks good. I am bullish on Ray. Adam, I said I would look at as well. So yeah, same thing. I think we talk about this one pretty much on every stream. And high time frame picture, I don't want to take swings until we're outside of this consolidation, but as soon as we break above that, I think you can look to get long in a big way. Otherwise, same as Bitcoin and everything else, if we all come back and test kind of the origin of this pump, like for Bitcoin, it's this 51K. If we can come back there and test it, I think it's worth taking a long. So those are kind of the two scenarios I'd say I'm watching for. What is this? Adam. What portfolio allocation would I recommend for long term? Honestly, it just depends on you. Like, do you believe that Bitcoin will succeed? Do you believe that Bitcoin's kind of going to fall back and altcoins are going to take the lead? Like, or that different projects will arise and be the bigger players in the space? So I can't really give you a number and say exactly like what would be best. I think it's just depends on your personal beliefs. Whole DeFi started with DAI. It's the foundation. All right, good to know. Not the stable coin, right? DIA? I don't know. Now I'm confused. No worries at all, man. It's that's my bad. I should have known that one was a stable coin and that you obviously would not want to see that one charted. Oh yeah, Doge has popped off again, and I'm a little annoyed because, I mean, it was a few weeks ago when we talked about this, but we had those really clean equal lows there, and I wanted to get long on a sweep of it, but then it like really dropped and stayed below, so I kind of took Doge off my radar. But then looking back at it later when we were on the stream, it just gave the most perfect textbook long entry right there, and it cruised up to the mid-range, flipped the mid-range, and cruised up to the range high. So not keeping a closer eye on that was one of my bigger regrets, but it played out really well. So let's see. Actually, all right, I might need to check it out on Binance. I think Binance tends to have the most chart history. So looking at this from a big picture perspective, super bullish. This kind of is the similar consolidation Bitcoin looks to be in, but Uni seems to be a step ahead. Broke out of this, nice SR flip, but unless you got long on this like reclaim or whatever, I don't see a ton of opportunities here at this point. I think a deeper retrace would be a nice long opportunity, just because this pretty much went straight up, has consolidated here. If it goes for the next leg, then tough to catch it, but if it comes back down and kind of continues in this range bound environment, then I think you could look for a long around 33, I would say. Obviously these lines are drawn really poorly, but pull back to around 33, what I think would be a decent opportunity. All right, let me just check on these guys again. 50 minutes till the daily close. Not a lot to update on. I guess they haven't moved much. Like I said, if we can get back above here, I would look to get in another long. Sol, this one's been a little bit of a bummer. We talk about this pretty much every stream. I really want a long around 37. And this is the plan that we had laid out, but it just didn't quite come for those lows. However, I still think it would be a nice long if it does. Not sure if it will, because it kind of seems to be holding up relatively well here. But if it does anything like that, I will omega long Sol in this region, because I'm very bullish on Sol. It's one of my bigger spot holdings. But something like that would be a good opportunity to get spot, as well as look for leverage longs in that area. Right on, guys. We broke We broke 100 likes, so that's pretty cool. This does kind of look like it's going to push up. Have any of you guys gotten any apes yet? That's what we really need to be talking about here. You guys need to get some apes. This stream is going to turn into ape chat. Is anybody going to get an ape? That is what I want to know. My giveaway actually is tomorrow. So you guys might win an ape. This guy, where is he? This one, right? Nope. This one. The giveaway ends tomorrow to win this ape. So I've been pretty into these. I think these ones are pretty sick. This one's my profile picture. So I'm turning into an NFT guy. As a newbie here, I noticed you don't have a volume indicator. It's mostly because volume across different exchanges, there's just such a huge discrepancy. So I think volume, when you can look at aggregated volume across all the exchanges, I think it can be helpful, but I don't really use it. I didn't get a Meebit. Are the Meebits worth it? Should I get one? Angle? I think this one is so cool. I'm gonna have this one as my profile pic for a while. How do people enter the giveaway? Let me find it. I posted it on my Twitter. I should probably retweet that. Here's the tweet. You just follow me and Ape Only, like and retweet, tag a friend down here, and join the Discord. This Discord link is invalid, so it's this one, and the winner will be announced tomorrow. So if this sells, you might be able to sell it at 2 BTC. 2 ETH. But yeah, apes are dope. If you guys want an ape, you hit me up. Do I use exocharts? No, not really. Bitcoin's starting to look like it might do this. It doesn't have to come back down here in this scenario. Let me actually clear this. But if it does something like this, then we look to long right there. So that's the Bitcoin plan. What's a yat? I don't have a yat. I just have apes. I have apes, and that's it. I think the idea of burning them is pretty cool too. But what was that chart? Oh, it was SPX. Litecoin's looking really good here. Link looks like it's pushing away again. Come on, XRP. Do it for me. Alright, guys. I think that's pretty much it for this stream. I think viewership just dropped off because I started talking about apes. But, yeah, I think for the most part the plans are clear. Unfortunately, there aren't a ton of super clear setups that I would take right now. I think I still need to see a few things happen, and I do think it's possible that we come down for another leg. So I guess the Tuesday stream summary would just be that I am long, I'm cautiously long, but I think now is a good time to be patient, see what the market brings us tomorrow, see what the market brings us on Thursday, and hopefully on Thursday we will have some very clear plans of how we want to proceed. Like yesterday, I had a really clear plan. If we could flip the weekly open and Monday's low and this level, that'd be a no-brainer long, but we dipped down and kind of invalidated this idea. So, but that's an example of just like a very, very clear setup with a clear entry trigger and stuff like that. So hopefully we have some of those on Thursday. If BTC comes down, do you think Ray 11.2 stops out? If Bitcoin goes to 51, I don't think Ray stops out. I think it would come to like here. Maybe not quite as low. Maybe like here. But overall, Ray has been showing a lot of strength. I don't know. Like, even when Bitcoin dumped this hard, like Ray didn't pull back quite as hard. You know, the setup is clear for me here, so I'm not going to not take it just because I don't know what's going to happen with Bitcoin, because like I've said earlier, Bitcoin could just go up from here, and then if Ray starts going like this, like, you miss the boat. So I'm just taking the setup, and hopefully it would just do something like this if we have another small leg down, but we'll see. All right, guys. Really appreciate you all being here. We had a really solid turnout for this video. Once again, shout out to the sponsor Bybit. If you guys want to check them out, you can do so by using the link in the description to support my free content. And also, if you guys are new to Bybit and you're like interested and willing to check out the platform, I could make a Bybit tutorial at some point. I think they would probably be pretty happy if I did that as well. So if there's interest for that, let me know, and maybe next week or something I can try to make a video about that, just so that you guys would be comfortable using the platform if you actually do sign up. So yeah, Ray is super bullish because of farming. I still need to get into farming, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, your night, your morning, or whatever time zone you're in. And I will talk to you either on Twitter or in the stream on Thursday. So stay safe out there, and protect your capital. Those are my closing words. Protect your capital, because that's the most important thing you can do. Peace.